John Wayne Airport HS Information Hotel 00530. Wind 260 at 4. Visibility 10. Light range 4,300 staggers. Ceiling 8,000 broken. 1,000 overcast. Temperature 17. Dew point 12. Altimeter 3003. ILS runway 20 right approach in use. Landing and departing runways 20 right and 20 left. Attention all aircraft.
Okay, so now we have
Information hotel.
Condition code 555 at 00.
okay, so this is clearance on
Excellent, on 2. Excellent, good. So you ready to write things down?
Yeah.
Here's what they'll give us. They'll give us a, so, oh, by the way, one more, I want to tell you something about
Sure.
departing a Charlie. So, we said on the ground on the whiteboard, coming into a Charlie, there's 4 frequencies. In this order. ATIS, approach, tower, ground.
Right.
When you're 30 miles out, you listen to the ATIS, then you contact approach. Eventually they hand you off to tower, and then you clear the runway and you contact ground.
Right.
When you depart a Charlie, there's 5 frequencies.
ATIS,
ATIS,
clearance,
clearance,
ground,
ground, tower, departure.
sure.
Make sense?
Yep.
Excellent. Could you listen to the ATIS after clearance? Yes, because the important people to give the ATIS to is ground when you taxi.
Right.
But get it out of the way. ATIS, clearance, ground, tower, departure. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
All right. Another thing about Charlies is every time you depart a Charlie, the assumption is that you're going to continue on flight following with approach until your destination.
Right.
So they want to know where you're going, which airport you're going to.
Right.
In our case, I don't want flight following.
Okay.
I just want to depart the Charlie. Do you hear the difference?
Yeah.
I want to get out of here and leave me alone.
Right.
So, if you don't say anything, what are they assuming? That you want flight following.
Right.
And they'll provide you with that. So here's how you tell them, I don't want flight following, I just want to depart the Charlie. You could say negative services or negative flight following.
Okay.
Either one works.
Okay.
In that case, they won't give you a departure frequency. The last people you'll talk to will be the tower, but you will get a heading to fly on takeoff, and eventually tower will say frequency change is approved.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying there? Typically, it continues on to flight following. We don't want flight following. So you could say negative flight following when you talk with clearance.
Okay.
So in our case, we'll say negative flight following. What we'll get is a heading to fly on takeoff, typically an altitude to maintain. And most of the time, you get a departure frequency. In our case, I don't want it. But we still will get a beacon code just so they can see us.
Right. Make
sense? All right, let's put this hypothesis to the test. Here we go. What's the ATIS?
Hotel.
Cool. John Wayne, clearance, good evening. Sierra 747 Sierra Delta. With hotel looking to depart the airspace to the north, negative flight following.
And north meaning what? Northwest, northeast? Which way?
Straight north works, but I'd say north slightly west for 7 Sierra Delta.
If you're going to go northwest, you have to have a destination.
Roger, we're going to Fullerton.
747 Sierra Delta on departure turn, right heading 340. Maintain VFR conditions that are below 2,400. Advisory frequency 121.3.
Advisory.
Squawk 0225.
All right, on departure, right turn heading 340. Maintain a VFR at or below 2,400. Advisory frequency 21.3 and squawk 0225. Sierra 747 Sierra Delta.
Sierra 7 Sierra Delta, read back correct. Hotel's current, where you parked?
We do have hotel. We are at the tower run-up. We will need a few minutes here and we'll be over to ground.
Ground 120.8 for taxi.
Thanks so much, 7 Sierra Delta. How do you think that went?
These controllers these days crack me up.
Why?
You know, I swear I've been flying on and off, like I've told you, for roughly 20 years.
Uh-huh.
I never recall so many controllers so, like, quickly short fuse, irritated.
They're so busy all day, and I think they're overstaffed.
They're understaffed?
Like, understaffed. Yeah. They're working a lot.
Right. Well, I get it. I just...
Yeah. It's all good, not my problem.
No, it's all good. I just...
Yeah. Listen, as long as he doesn't come home to me, we're good.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Right.
But as far as how'd that go, as briefed as we discussed,
Exactly.
they gave us advisory frequency, not departure frequency.
So advisory frequency
means that after tower tells us frequency change approved, get out of my airspace, you're good.
If
I may, if I want to, call them and say, hey, I want flight following or whatever.
Gotcha.
Right. But I told them negative flight following. I don't want any of that.
Right.
I just want to get out of here, and then I want to talk to you.
Right. Right.
Will you remember that when it comes to departing a Charlie? You don't have to accept the flight following.
Right.
I don't want it.
Right.
I just want to get out of here. Make sense?
So does that clear us through?
No, we'll avoid the TFR.
We're going to avoid the TFR.
TFR, yes.
So we're going to go what, about this way? And
I don't know. We'll do whatever 340 looks like, and then we'll see what that does in terms of the TFR.
Okay.
And then once we get frequency change approved, O navigation, whatever, we could do whatever we want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, they just need to get us out of here without hitting anyone.
Right.
Because there's lots of jet traffic in the area. So far, everything makes sense?
Yes.
Simple? Excellent. Good. We're fiddling with the altitude. As far as our route is concerned, let's go direct Fullerton.
Okay.
So how do we do that? Easiest way to do it is just straight away click that, and then click that, and KFUL. Yeah, it's a direct function. Then activate.
Another nice trick I just learned from you.
That's it. And then you'll get a straight pink line there in a second. There it is. Right? Now, as far as deleting that thing.
It still has the approach in there.
Yeah. Let's go. Oh, I switched that. Flight plan, menu, delete. Okay. It should take that away. So now we just have that beautiful pink line. Make sense?
Yeah. Right.
So flight plan, menu, delete. There's nothing in there if you ever have that. But now we just have the straight Fullerton. So we got straight Fullerton. We won't use the GPS function. Why? Because we're told to do what on takeoff?
They gave us a heading.
Make sense?
Yep.
Excellent. Let's set the bug for 340.
I already did.
It's 340. Phenomenal.
Put you at 2400.
Excellent. Solid. Advisory frequency is 21.3. Would it make sense to have it on standby?
Sure.
Why?
You might need it.
Right?
Yeah.
I might lose an engine after I leave tower. I could just jump right on with approach and say, hey, I'm going down wherever, right?
Alaska 1206, contact tower 126.8. 26.
So even though I'm not planning on flight following, not a bad idea to throw it in there. And then finally, squawk 0225.
Yep.
All set?
So I got the approach frequency just in case. I already got Fullerton, Zetas, and then I'll...
Excellent.
I'll
What should we call this flight? How to depart a Charlie?
Sure.
Okay. So we said before, departing a Charlie, 5 frequencies.
Or part 2, you'll check right?
Part 2, you'll check right. We said before, departing a Charlie, 5 frequencies. ATIS, clearance, ground, tower, departure. Where are we holding in this journey?
So we got clearance. Well, we have ATIS, we have our clearance, now we got to go to ground.
Excellent, right? So now we're headed to number 3.
Right.
Once we get short of the runway, we'll be on to number 4. You see that? It's a nice little journey when you go in and out of Charlie's.
Yep.
Okay, cool. 28 or 21.8?
No, it says ground right there.
Excellent. Yep. Perfect. Yep. Awesome. Typically grounds are 21 something. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they have 2.
Excellent. So here we go.
Yeah.
John Wayne ground, Sierra 747 Sierra Delta, tower run up, ready to taxi with hotel.
7 Sierra Delta, runway 20 right, taxi via Bravo Kilo. This jet you see downfield is going to Clay Lacy.
All right, 20 right via Bravo Kilo, 747 Sierra Delta, got the jet in sight. All right, you ready to go?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, he's going right here.
Yeah. You're not on the brakes, right? Okay, there you go. And just to confirm that ground, we're good to go in front of the jet, or should we wait for them?
Yeah, you're good to go. So they'll be turning off here momentarily, so no factor for you.
Copy that, thanks. Okay. What did I just do that I wasn't sure whether or not the jet will come?
You verified if it was safe and if it's actually what he wanted us to do.
Excellent, right? Even though I kind of had a feeling it would happen, I'd much rather do that.
7 Sierra Delta, monitor tower 126.8.
All right, 26.8, thanks, 7 Sierra Delta.
Left at Echo, contact.
Monitor means just listen.
But stay on. Should I stay on ground and
No,
put?
no. We listen to tower.
Okay.
He told us Bravo Kilo to 20 right. I want you to pull up the zoom in and tell me where Bravo Kilo is.
At the very end? Well, the second to the last.
Good.
Yeah.
Not at the very end.
Yeah.
Do you see why it's important to have a taxi chart up and understand? We talked about this last time. What did they just tell me to do?
Yeah.
A little clue that they want you to not go to the end is if they tell you Bravo and then an intersection number or letter.
Right.
If he wanted me to go to the end, he would just say 20 right, taxiway Bravo.
15 Yankee.
Right? So that's very important because which intersection is he talking about? And that's very typical. They launch people, small G8 planes, typically off of Kilo, maybe even Juliet off the other side. Make sense?
Yep.
Excellent.
Should be coming up on Kilo.
Excellent. Kilo's the next one. I like it. All right, let's get ready here. So flaps will be 50. Trim is set for takeoff.
Yep.
So that's good.
Got all your lights as required.
All the lights are good. Fuel looks good. I do feel like that's on the fullest still.
Yep.
And then we'll go ahead and add mixture here in a little bit. Nice view of a jet landing. This is Kilo, right?
This is Kilo.
Excellent. And I could confirm that on the sign.
Sierra 747 Sierra Delta, John Terra, and a 20 right at Kilo, line from Wade, track 7 mile, final Gulfstream.
All right, 20 right at Kilo, line of weight, 747 Sierra Delta.
I do not see. Yeah, I got the landing traffic.
Cool. So the jet landed pretty much right over here. That's where it stopped producing its vortices. We will rotate well past it. Does that make sense? So we're good. You get that?
Yep.
Okay, cool. You see the jet in sight? Got it.
Yep.
Charlie, John Terra, cross over the tower at above 1,300.
And he told us to do what?
Line up and wait.
Excellent. So we'll be ready to go. Does all look good here for takeoff? I'll get the mixture going when I apply the power.
Control 06, contact ground.
Over to ground 1206.
Sierra 747 Sierra Delta, early right turn approved, running 20 right at Kilo, cleared for takeoff.
Early right turn approved, 20 right at Kilo. 20 right at Kilo, clear for takeoff, 747 Sierra Delta.
Gulfstream 15 Yankee, wind
What was-
2503,
Oh, wow,
running
see you
20
later.
right, clear line.
Land runway 20 right at 15 Yankee.
All right. Engine power is in the green. Airspeed is alive. There we are. And we're up.
Yep.
Let's get above 90 there. Positive right, gear up. Excellent. He said early right turn approved, so I could go ahead and pretty much turn right now.
Okay.
That's what he said, early right turn approved.
That's what I was gonna ask
that's
you.
what you're, yep, to the 340. Because typically you want to wait, you know. Again, you could see a theme here.
Right.
They want me out of their way,
Wait,
right? You kind of get that?
Yep.
Perfect. They're busy.
Sierra 7 Sierra Delta, radar contact, maintain VFR at or below 2,400, say altitude.
All right, VFR at or below 2,400 and currently climbing through 1,747 Sierra Delta. 340 is coming up. I don't want to blow through it, right? So I'm thinking
Sierra
about
7
that.
Sierra Delta, connect shuttle departure 121.30.
All right, I asked for a negative flight following, so I just wanted to part the airspace if that works for you for 7 Sierra Delta.
It doesn't. I think clearance said to go to the northwest, you have to have a destination, so you can contact SoCal, and if they want to terminate, that's approved. It's just for the Disney TFR, that's why you have to have a destination.
Makes sense. Going over to departure. Thanks, 7 Sierra Delta. Excellent.
Approach on 2045, 6,200.
Zoom out a little bit on your fourth flight. Cool.
Delta 2045, SoCal approach, Roger. Number 0 Sierra Papa, contact tower 126.8.
80 Sierra Papa, switch.
340, 400 feet to go. I'm thinking ahead. At departure Sierra 747 Sierra Delta 340, leveling off 2,400 going to Fullerton.
Number 7470 Delta SoCal approach resume, O navigation, altitude, your discretion, advising you have information, Mike.
All right, ONAV, altitude, our discretion, and Wilco, 70 Delta. All right, let's increase the altitude to 25 is good, actually. Let's just pick it up by 1 foot. Good. What did she tell us? Let's interpret that.
Oh, navigation, basically the way we want to go. What else did she tell us?
Right, O navigation, altitude, our discretion. Right, we're good to go.
Yep.
We're talking with her, so we're good with the TFR. All right, let's go ahead and get the ATIS going.
Okay. Bravo. Has this weather information available on flight service frequencies? Advise on contact, give information.
What?
Let's hear on the next one.
Full confirmation, Mike 0053 Zulu, wind 2208, gust 14, visibility 10, ceiling 1000 broken, temperature 18, dew point 11, altimeter 3002. You're off approach and use, arriving departing runway 24. Notice their mission.
All right.
You have Mike.
Cool. Let's throw 30002 in there. And it's Mike?
Yes.
All right, here we go. That approach 7 Sierra Delta, we have Mike.
Number 70 Delta, thank you.
How easy is flying? When it comes to air traffic control and telling them what you want and what you don't want, and they explain, hey, we know you don't want fly following, but there's a TFR, so they want you on the, no problem, that makes sense, we'll call them. How easy is all this?
26.8, that's
Not
2045.
complicated. I promise you I would tell.
70 Delta, contact tower 119.1, yes.
19-1, have a great night, 7 Sierra Delta. Easy. Yeah. Rough ballpark it for me. How many miles are we to the south?
7.5.
Oh, you're excellent. Cool. Fullerton Tower, Sierra 747 Sierra Delta is about 7 miles to the south. Full stop with Mike.
Sir, 747 Sierra Delta, good evening, Fulton Tower, enter left base, runway 24, clear to land, wind 2207.
All right, left base, 24, clear to land, 747 Sierra Delta, thanks. Here we go.
Yep.
Do you want to load up the procedure for 24? It's a procedure.
Yep.
And then approach. And then approach. And then scroll all the way down. Visual 24. And then load approach and activate. And then activate. And then look what happens.
Boom.
Three nautical mile, basically final approach thing, just for good reference.
Right, because he wants us to enter into a left.
And this is a visual approach, so
Right.
it won't show you any nice fancy waypoints. Let me know when you see the airport.
I want to say that's it, right?
Excellent. Yep, you got it. Cool.
So he said left downwind or left base?
He said join left base 24, clear to land.
Right. Okay.
So he cleared us a touch early because there's no one around.
Right.
All right. So you saw that, Johnny? The 5, ATIS, ground, tower, ATIS clearance, ground, tower, departure. You saw how we ran through all 5 on our way out of a Charlie?
Right.
That's all that goes into it.
Right.
If we didn't have the TFR, that would just say frequency change approved. And it makes sense now that she explained it, right? Simple. Simple. Johnny, repeat after me. Jimmy, repeat after me. Flying into and out of Class Charlies are some of the simplest things I will ever do in my entire life. Excellent. It even shows us the final approach course and that made up diamond thing.
Yep.
Look at this, Jimmy. Plane is doing its thing.
Yeah.
I'm staying out of its way. Right. I want it to descend. I'm just kind of, every once in a while, I touch it. I guide it, right? I'm just kind of letting it know, hey, a little left, we're good. And then the plane will kind of do its thing. I'm just sitting here with you. Autopilot's disengaged. This is how you fly an airplane.
Right.
Make sense? You don't want to fight. There you got the airport there, the runway?
Yep.
Excellent. I will throw my shades on because it's sunny.
Yep.
There we go.
I don't know if that helps.
Looking to my right, staying ahead of the airplane here. Final looks clear,
Yep.
right? I don't see anyone. I'm reducing power. I'll hold my altitude here just a touch. I don't want to be too low. I'll add a little more power there. Flaps 50.
I want to see 1100 and 100 knots, please.
We did a pattern. All right, final still is clear. Still is clear.
Yep. You're
There's the airport. I'm maintaining my altitude because it feels a touch low for how far we are. See that?
Yep.
I'm not climbing. I'm just adding power and maintaining my altitude.
Right. And without gaining any speed.
Correct. Exactly. Yep. Because we're exchanging that descent for exactly.
Wind 230 at 7.
Thank you. Excellent. Now we're on final.
Yep.
Reduce power a little bit. I'm under 104. Always something I look at before I go flaps full, because that's a limit, right?
Right.
I'm under 104, flaps full. A little forward pressure on the yoke right there to avoid that balloon, because I know what the plane is going to do. I already know how this thing works and what it's going to do with me.
Okay. So you don't put any trim. I usually put like a second or two of trim.
I just do that forward pressure because
that relieves it.
It relieves it for that moment, because once the energy depletes, there's
gone.
no more balloons, so
Right.
we're back to square one. But if I did the trim, I'll have to take
a trig out.
Yeah,
You're
so
right.
it's
You're
extra work.
Yep.
So I do that manually.
Right.
Excellent.
$500.
Excellent. And we'll keep it rolling all the way to the end, just because we know where we're going. Looking at the wind, another left crosswind. That's what that shows.
Yep.
Coming down, I cleared all obstacles. Looking down the runway. And we're off, or down.
So you keep I feel like you keep.
I keep power.
You keep
I'm
power.
a land with power guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, gives you a lot of options and a lot of control.
Right.
Yoke all the way back. See this? Holding it all the way back.
Yep.
Not frying the brakes, letting it roll.
Right.
And welcome back to life.
Yeah.
070 Delta, taxi Bravo parking, have a good night.
Bravo parking, have a great night, sir. 7470 Delta. All right.
Yeah.
We're back, Jims. Charlie kind of day.
It was a Charlie day.
Excellent. Clean the plane up, lean the mixture. I'll actually move that to the fullest just for a second. Trim, we'll get that back in there. All right. Perfect. We'll squawk VFR. Cool. What, talk to me about departing a Class Charlie airport. What are your thoughts?
Thoughts, or you want me to go over the process?
Talk to me what stood out to you, what you learned, what you realized, what you thought was an intimidating thing to do in your life you found out is just nothing. It's literally...
It's just a process. It's a multi-step process. That's all it is.
like baking a cake.
It's like baking a cake.
Right? There's different layers, multi-step, exactly.
Yep. So just making sure that you have that, making sure you have your ingredients and that they're in the right order.
Exactly. Right? You first do this, and then you put it in the oven, then you take it out, and you cut it up, and then you serve it like there's an order.
Right.
Right? ATIS, clearance, ground, tower, departure.
Right.
You could opt for the flight following, you could opt for no flight following.
Right.
You could request this, you could request that. In our case, I didn't have a choice because it's a TFR.
Right.
Simple.
Yep.
Now you saw what that looks like.
Yep.
Next time, you'll be the one doing it.
Yep.
Make sense?
Absolutely.
Bring it in.
No, buddy.
Jimmy, good work, man. Do you want to shut her down?
Sure.